Hi, welcome to Average Joe Live. I titled this one Managing Regret, but the more fun title is Shoulda, Woulda, Coulda. And it turns out that there's like a whole history to this. I just thought it was just a rhymey thing. But I guess T. Rowe Price had a whole thing about it. They had a couple articles on this, so I'll link those below. But I got excerpts from each of the sources. And one of the things I've said previously is why the windshield on your car is bigger than the rear view mirror, because we're basically designed to be looking forward and looking to where we're going, not where we've been. And also, if we think about it, we have two eyes in the front of our head to look where we're going, again, not back there. So we primarily should have a forward focus. And the book that I'll link here, I kind of like this, kind of summarize my thoughts on the process here. It says, the past has nothing new to offer you. So basically, whatever lessons it's taught you, it's already taught you. And the benefit to that is remembering those lessons, not, oh, maybe if I did this, maybe I did this. It's the shoulda, woulda, coulda. It's like, okay, when I see these signs, I'm going to do this. Write it down, turn the page, move ahead. And I know it's difficult, I've been there too, but we have to constantly move ourselves to where we want to be, not where we are, and side tracks and side, side tasks in the games. What are those called, Steven?
What?
Where they have side tasks and side challenges?
Side quest?
Side quest, that's it.
Yeah, you have to, if you're a gamer in the chat, just think of it as a side quest or like a dungeon you have to conquer.
So it's not part of the main one.
Storyline.
Yeah, but it's a fun little side quest, and you get experience. You might get gold. You might learn something from it, and kind of that's the variety of life. You learn something new that you wouldn't normally do. It's like driving along the freeway versus taking a side street. You'll see more restaurants. You'll see more of the culture if you go off the beaten path, as it were. Let's see. So the comment from this Amazon reviewer says the book really addresses the problem of wasting our time regretting things we cannot change, which is kind of the theme I'm going for. We can and should learn from the past, which I've stated, but we shouldn't live there in the past. Our mind should be the present moment moving forward, not looking back, looking forward, it's like we're looking at too much. Look straight ahead. Imagine if you're driving, you're like, hey, look left, hey, look right, look backwards. Crash. In more ways than one. Let's see. So, look forward and live in nothing but the now. It's kind of hard to do, but that's the ideal goal, so the optimum. So this example was kind of interesting. It says, hey, have you ever heard somebody tell you invested in 10K in Apple stock in 1995, you would have $15 million today? Shoulda, woulda, coulda. And say, great, if you didn't invest 10K in Apple stock in 95, that information is useless unless you have a time machine. I have my personal one, but you can't borrow it. So when people backtest stocks in order to say, hey, I can do this philosophy, it's like you're curve fitting the answer into the question. It's like in our math books in school, you multiply your equation by 0 and add the answer from the back of the book, which means you got the right answer. But real life isn't like that. There's no answers in the back of the book of life. So backtest stock, they're kind of wasting their time and effort. Backtesting is useless, because you really can never implement it. You're just rolling the dice, as it were, but trying to do it all scientifically. Investing should be forward-looking, because what you do today affects how you're going to live tomorrow. So this person's note in the comments: don't tell me about investment, shoulda, woulda, coulda, when I need to know what I should be buying today. Not yesterday, not 10 years ago, not even yesterday, because you can't do anything about that. You have to do it today. Unless what you learn, it's like, hey, this performed this way yesterday, get in today. hold on for, there's more about that later. Let's see. So successful investing is not about looking back. Successful investing is looking forward. So you get the clues from the past, but you live in the present and the future. It's human nature, again, to second guess ourselves, and this seems to be doubly true in the investing realm because there's such high stakes. I put money on it. Let's see. Oh, this has a thing about Bitcoin, which I'll read about here. So the woulda is like, I wish I woulda, whatever. When people are afraid to trust their gut instincts, sometimes the woulda is backed by just enough research to support a regrettable decision. Woulda is usually followed by the if only. So when you hear that, you know they're woulda on you. I would have gotten to that investment if only the market wasn't a downturn. The excuse this writer heard with their own ears. I would have invested in Bitcoin years ago if only I knew more about it at the time. So this person is bringing them into the future and says, what do you know about Bitcoin or cryptocurrency investing now? We know the answer. Me? Nothing. Why not? It's just too complicated. I don't have time to learn. So this person is obviously on the same path today as you were when you first missed the Bitcoin opportunity. So even if you handed it to him on a silver platter, back when Bitcoin was first getting going, 2009, 2013, would have done the same thing he's doing today. So it's not really fair to say I would have done it. Prove it. Get in now. That's what is it? I guess if you don't take actions on your promises to yourself, you're going to have to live with the results. But also, people, you really don't have, it's like voting. If you don't vote, you really don't get to play post-election. So for investing, if you don't invest in something, anything that you think is good, then you really can't say my investments aren't performing, kind of because I didn't do anything with it. Let's see what I liked about this one. I copied kind of paragraphs here to see what I liked. There's no satisfaction possessing this type of shoulda, woulda, coulda about investment decisions. Definitely do not take investment advice from the shoulda, woulda, coulda type of person. They're not going anywhere in life. They're basically, they're telling regrets and things like that, kind of live in the past. But they would love your company, so it's like misery loves company. They sound knowledgeable. They have all the buzzwords, but they're going to fix your 1995 problem. They're not going to fix your 2022 problem. You're better off digging in, do your own research, which we mentioned before. Make your own mistakes and let those mistakes be your education, because the most expensive education and most valuable education you'll do are your own mistakes, because you'll learn from it. Not, well, I think it's this, it's theory. It's like, I put my $100 in and it did this. It worked or it didn't, and you learn about those signs. What did I miss? And you look at those things and say, here's the research I'll do in the future. You close the book on the past, look at things in the future, knowing what you learned. That's the benefit of looking in the past. And it kind of gets into the forward looking again. Have a liquidity bucket. I'm finding this as well. So you want to basically have a form of liquid asset, access to cash, access to crypto, ready to go, because I typically have like between 7 and 2 weeks between the time I convert fiat money to crypto to get it to where I can use it for something. And sometimes, I like this little quote here, there's nothing worse than reaching back in your quiver of arrows after, I found this investment, I'm going to do this. Only to find out you have no arrows, you forgot to stock up. Hindsight, as you know, is a wonderful thing. Monday morning quarterbacking, we hear about it, the NFL, the different college football. T. Rowe Price had these major titles, I'll do the link below. Be a contrarian, kind of go opposite the masses. If the masses are running away from something, maybe you should like swim upstream and look at it and get a small position, because the price is probably cratering, and if the underlying fundamentals are good, it's going to pull back up. But if it's like, something that had that many people in it, had something going for it, so it should bounce back, and you can get it at a discount. You could be one of the people, shoulda, woulda, coulda, you bought it low. Be a long-term resident, so a long-term holder. Be in there for the long term until you get what the investment's performing the way you'd like it to. Spot the innovators. This one's pretty good. Warren Buffett said, each big industry trend starts off with the innovators, which we talked about the other day, followed by the imitators, and finally the incompetents, which is sort of funny. The goal, of course, is to identify the first and avoid the last. Know when to fold, of course, the Kenny Rogers song. So basically, if something's not really performing well and you're just holding on to make your money back, get your time back, sell that investment, chalk it up to experience and another expensive tuition check in your education. And looking forward, read, learn, and assimilate many sources. Kind of see what's out there and then learn the terms, learn the analytical techniques, and enjoy the journey. Average Show out.